All right, and welcome back. We just covered what a decentralized application is. Now we dive deeper into what a block explorer is and later how to install MetaMask. It's important to understand these tools before we dive deeper in the DeFi 101 course. Okay, well, before we get started, let's do a quick recap, right? I recently also found this application called iEarn Finance. iEarn Finance is a DeFi application, decentralized financial application that interacts with different smart contracts in the DeFi ecosystem. And basically, as explained before, this is just a GUI. And then if I click on it, I can start connecting my wallet and interacting with the smart contracts in this dApp. This website is now just on a central server, and the developer decided to not only have the smart contracts on the distributed network, but also stored the website itself on the distributed network of computers, where in this case he used IPFS. IPFS stands for the Interplanetary File System. So he stored the smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain and the website itself on the IPFS distributed network on the Interplanetary File System. And we can see that here, if we inspect the code, we can see that the data from here is not coming from the central server, but is coming from IPFS. And if we go and look at this website, we can see, again, here, this is from the central server. So it's important to understand. Okay, let's dive deeper into block explorers. So there's different protocols, different blockchains that you can explore. Most mature blockchains will all have a blockchain explorer so you can interact and inspect the blockchain you're interacting with. Right now, I'm looking at a Bitcoin explorer. Let's look a little bit deeper. And again, I want to remind there's also courses that go more in depth into like how exactly Bitcoin works, how exactly Ethereum works, more from the protocol layer level. But right now, I'm just going to show you how to interact with it and how to read it. Okay, so the Bitcoin blockchain consists of different blocks that are being mined constantly. In these blocks, we have transactions that are mined and processed. All right. We can see here the Merkle root, we can see the difficulty, we can see the number of transactions in this block, and we can see the miner that mined this block. This is basically one of the distributed servers. All these transactions that are mined in this block, we can see here already have like 3 confirmations. This is a recent block. All these transactions that happened here cannot be reversed. And that's the power of blockchain. Once you do an action, once you shoot an action into the system, nobody can reverse the data. Nobody can change the data, or nobody can fake a transaction under your digital identity or your blockchain address, right? But not only Bitcoin has Block Explorer, also Ethereum. Throughout this course, we will be mostly interacting with the Ethereum blockchain. Right now, Ethereum is the most mature blockchain for decentralized financial applications. My favorite Ethereum Block Explorer is Blocksy. This is a more advanced explorer where you can actually see also different data from different contracts, etc. You can, for example, look in the DAI smart contract, the DAI token address, and you can see different statistics from the smart contract. A more simpler explorer is Etherscan, and Etherscan is very similar to the Bitcoin Explorer that we saw, where you see different blocks that are mined, different transactions that are happened, difficulty, the market cap, and the Ethereum price. All right, if we look deeper in the Ethereum Explorer, we can see here the block, and very similar how we just saw that in Bitcoin. There is a number of transactions that is mined. There is, we can see how many transactions are mined in this block, and we can also see how many contract transactions are in this block. We can see also the block reward and see more data here. All right. Okay, so let's go to an example dApp I was interacting with. So for this demo, I was interacting with Dice to Win. As I showed before, Dice to Win is basically a web interface with different smart contracts I can interact with and play a game. Basically, this GUI lets me interact with a smart contract that lets me play a dice game. This dice game says that if I throw a number above 79, I lose the money. If the number is below 79, I win a small amount of money. In this case, I won. Okay, so but what actually happened on the blockchain? Let's take a look under the hood. So when I played this game, I can go into my MetaMask that I will explain to you later how to install that. I can see here the transaction that I did. I can click on that transaction and I can actually go to the blockchain where this transaction happens. Now see here, this is the same one. And you can see here, as interested, this one block confirmation, didn't refresh the page. And actually now, a couple of minutes later, there's 56 block confirmations, meaning that nobody ever can change this transaction that happens. Okay, let's see what happens. From my address, this address is my account, my mainnet address, I transferred a small amount of DAI, 0.2 ETH, which is around $45 at this time of recording, to this contract address. And you can see here, this is the DICE to win contract. Okay, let's see what that means. If we go to that contract, we can see that this contract has different transactions in it. And as you see here, and then we can look up my transaction and we can go more in depth in that transaction and see what's actually happening, right? And that's what we did here. So this transaction to the contract, to DICE to win, this amount. Okay, great. And basically what's happening if I send an amount of money to that contract, it starts interacting with this contract that we can inspect here. We can go to the code, we can see what's happening, we can see what's going on here, we can inspect everything, and we can understand, okay, what's actually what I'm interacting with. What is also really cool and really important to understand is that if we go back to the GUI, we can see here, this is just a GUI on a central database. We're interacting with a smart contract. We do not need that GUI. We do not need that interface to interact with it. Again, in software development, and especially also in blockchain development, it's all about different abstraction layers. And the website, the GUI, gives me a simpler abstraction layer to interact with that smart contract. Right here, we can see the smart contract in Etherscan, and there's this cool function in the contract function that I can write to the contract. With this functionality, I can actually directly write to the contract and place the bet. I do not need the GUI to do that, right? Later on in the course, we will also interact with some DeFi, decentralized financial contracts, without a GUI. All right, so after I interact with the contract, you can see here what happened. I set an input and then the contract sends me an output that I won. So instead of sending me the amount back, it sends me a bigger amount to my address. You can see right here. All right. Also, what I want you to, if you already maybe have some DAI in your wallet or something, you can also interact with Pool Together, which is, in my opinion, a really cool lottery app, a really cool decentralized financial application. So let's do that together. We will. I will explain the workings of this later out in the course. Okay, so I'm connecting my MetaMask, my blockchain wallet, to this application so I can start interacting with the blockchain. Okay, I didn't win any prizes because I didn't play yet. Okay, so that's me. Do I want to join the pool? Yeah, I want to join the pool. I want to buy, let's say I want to buy one ticket, and then I need to enable DAI to play with this ticket. And that's what I do. So I enable it, I play with Pool Together, I put in one DAI, one ticket, and I can potentially now win the Pool Together prize. Okay, I will not go more in depth into the Pool Together workings, but we will do that later on in the course, where we all together will purchase tickets and participate in the Pool Together lottery, and I will explain to you and show you how it exactly works. All right. Thank you, and at the next course we will look on how to install MetaMask and how to interact with the blockchain by yourself with your own browser.